What's up, guys? Justin here from Launch Kits. About to kick up the 1990 Chevy Cheyenne. I bought this thing with 60,000 miles, and I thought, man, that's low. And, you know, it's kind of like everything. Time passes. It's got 108 on it now. But, we've launched 1,000 businesses here, and I feel like I wanted to take a moment and do some myth busting. 1,000 or so we've launched through partners, so we're up to about over 2,000 businesses launched. But there's a popular sort of message in business culture: work harder and you'll deserve then the rest that you get. Man, we hear a lot of entrepreneurs secondly believing that money's going to follow the hardest workers, you know, the smartest workers, even the money follows them. Or the third thing we hear a lot is, I'm going to work hard now so that I can relax later. That's so common. Fourth, I hear people say, I'm not successful because I'm not working as hard as this guy or that guy. They kind of compare. Number 5 most common thing I hear is that I'll be happier with a larger company, larger income, more income, you know, and then working smarter, not harder. Man, that's the 6th thing. These are all they're myths and they're so attractive because they're almost right. I mean, everything that we sort of fall for has a seed of truth, but it's mixed with the poison of, just not being the whole truth. It's like that whole, nothing but the truth, only the truth, so help me God thing. I mean, there's short-lived gains in a lot of those things. That's why they're so tempting. Like, oh, if I work harder, look, more money, I'm making it. And you think, oh, well, this must be true. The reality to me, after launching 1,000 businesses and watching how they've all gone and are going, is that, like, it's not work harder to deserve and earn rest. The thing is, rest is, number one, is essential. It's not optional. No, you can't go without rest. So the question, I think, is more, how are you going to integrate rest into your work schedule and on a weekly flow? How are you going to make a commitment to yourself and to rest? I mean, neuroscience books and research is coming out all about this, that there's these natural kind of rhythms, not just like, hey, you need to sleep more. It's like, dude, you need to take a day off. You need to, Sabbath. You need to unplug completely from sort of what you're doing and notice all the other things going on that are good and beautiful in the world. Second, man, money follows the hardest workers. We hear that a lot when we go to launch a business, help someone out. To me, money is a broken contentment currency. You will never, I'm sure you've heard this before, but you're never going to make enough to sort of be happy. And what follows the hardest workers? Responsibility. More responsibility follows those people. So and money and wealth are different. A lot of rich people aren't necessarily healthy, and they're not necessarily wealthy. Like, wealth consists of things that you have around you. It really does. I mean, read the books, watch other people's podcasts. Money isn't what you want to be following you. Wealth is, and wealth is measured by a lot of things. This third one of work hard now so I can relax later, man. Here's what I've experienced myself in growing my business and learned some hard lessons, launching and watching other people, is whatever, if you work hard now, that ingrains this mentality that's really hard to break, which is, I'm just going to work hard later. Like, you start ingraining this cycle of working hard, working hard, working hard. But rest and relaxing takes practice. You will only perfect what you practice. So if what you're practicing is working hard, it is really hard to relax later. I know people that have said that, work hard to relax later, and I'm watching them in their 70s and 80s still working hard. Like, when are you going to relax? It's just been ingrained as a measurement and a tool of their value and their worth to themselves. I hear people say, I'm not successful because I'm not working as hard as them. Here, look, don't assume that that person you're looking at is successful and happy and loving everything that they're doing. This whole like you do you, I feel like that's appropriate to say, their success, whatever that looks like to you, comes with a lot of costs, and sure it has rewards, but for you, I think you need to make your own criteria for success and realize that comes because of your own work and your own things. So another way to say that is like, if you're saying I'm not doing as well as them because they're doing ABCD, they're doing PPC, they're doing SEO, they're doing marketing, they have a bigger budget, they have a bigger team, that all comes with a ton of other things that they have to like manage and take care of. And if you had a straight up coffee with some of those people and said, dude, how's it going? I mean, I've talked to them. I literally talked to a guy in Texas who was like, yeah, it started just me and my brother and my dad. And yeah, now we have like 80 employees and we've got 12 crews and da-da-da. And he then finished saying, he's like, man, I wish I'd go back to those other days because it's not necessarily more profitable. It takes my waking and sleeping time. So just be careful what you sort of aspire to have or to be like, and some of those role models and people, just be careful. This whole I'll be happy with a larger company, more income. If big business made happy owners, shoot, the world would be a different place. I can just tell you, bigger businesses don't make happier owners. You can take my word for it, or just talk to some people around you. Before I get going here, the whole smarter, not harder. Guess what? Smarter is harder. It's a lot harder to say, here's a boundary of women to work, and here's a boundary of women to enjoy life, family, friends, community around me, and I'm going to keep that boundary. That's working smarter, and that is harder. You got to break the mold. So, we're continuing to learn here as we launch people. Those are just some things I know from personal experience that maybe if you're a business owner and you were like running after those 6 things, maybe there's just a little pause button, reevaluate as you drive to your next job today, that will be helpful. But we'll see you next time. Again, this is Justin from Lawn Care Launchers, hoping you got a great day.